Hello and welcome back everyone to Sonic Unleashed Part 13, and in this episode we'll continue on with Holoska Night and the Ice Flows. Now, Holoska Night in general is actually a pretty well laid back level aside from the, ice boulders and the new enemy types. But even the new enemy types aren't all that difficult to deal with because, well, we are a bit overpowered with what our combo allows us to do. You know, just stun lock enemies and then throw them into other enemies for massive damage. It's the platforming in Holoska that ends up being the bigger issue.
Yep. Can you survive the chasm of, oh shit, I'm going to die, and there's nothing I can do to stop it?
Also, can you figure out how the fuck to get over to that bonus item over there? The answer for past Gurdette is simply no.
You have to get 10 time relics in the other Crash Bandicoot 3 levels, and then you enter the secret exit below the fucking hub world platform, silly.
I thought it was connected to Banjo-Tooie.
Well, Banjo-Tooie started it. Crash Bandicoot said, okay.
Dude, I don't want to go all the way through Banjo-Tooie just to get one unlockable item and unlockable like picture or soundtrack from Sonic Unleashed. Mostly because I've never actually played either of the Banjo games.
These enemies blow.
They do. They blow ice, and what that means is that if you get hit with them, you turn into a frozen hedgesicle. One day, viewers, I'll be able to speak,
hedgesicle,
and it will be a glorious occasion.
A were hedgesicle.
Yes, a were hedgesicle.
Now, do you take damage when the ice breaks and releases you?
I don't think you take damage when the ice breaks, but I do believe you take damage when you get encased in ice because it counts as an enemy attack.
Interesting, because that's a classic Sonic the Hedgehog thing. Because when there are frost machines in Dr. Robotnik's lair in in the ice cap zone in Sonic 3, I remember most clearly. You get frozen, Sonic is stuck for a second, and then when he thaws, you take damage.
Whereas in Sonic Mania, when you get frozen, and you just end up shooting forward into the nearest slope platform and dash through everything, being totally invincible.
Hell yeah.
It's really weird when Dr. Eggman programs an attack for Sonic the Hedgehog, but sometimes he does that.
Well, I mean, if Dr. Robotnik would just stop making his robots so vulnerable on their heads, Sonic would stop jumping on them.
That is not true. Yeah, you do take a small amount of damage
Frozen
when
Hedgehog.
you get hit with the ice, but it's mostly negligible.
Scouting around for all the collectibles is a bit of a chore, but there's usually 3 items in each of the night levels.
Yes, sometimes it's more than that, sometimes it's up to 4. In quite a number of early levels, it's actually 2. But, you know, it's supposed to be 3. It's supposed to be a document. No, it's supposed to be either a document or a gate key, a piece of the soundtrack, and an illustration.
So you can even expect which of the 3 things you're missing when you found 2 of them already.
A bit. I forget if the gallery actually tracks. What you've already collected and where. I know it tracks what you've collected, but I don't think it tells you where you've collected it.
Gotcha. Well, it reveals what the items are at the end of the stage, doesn't it?
No. Well, after you've collected them, yes. Damn it!
God. Oh. All right, that was an okay save, but now I gotta
my crappy analog stick and the camera not working with me.
Oh, but Sonic just looks so damn good when he's shimmying.
Alright, there we go.
Careful across the narrow, spastic camera bridge. Pick up the iron ingots. Make some money.
I personally never found blacksmithing to be all that enjoyably profitable in Skyrim. Mind you, I don't like Skyrim in general, so maybe that's my issue.
You just use smithing to grind up. That's how I grind up. Like grinding up ore, melting it into ingots, make iron daggers all day long, go from level 25 to level what the fuck?
It's okay, Cloud. They're not invisible. They're totally there. You just have to remember that they're there. Oh, right.
Oh!
At this point, you'll notice that my life count has jumped from 2 to 4. This particular level forced me, because I got a game over on it twice attempting to go through it, which is why I know where almost everything is, to go and pick up the additional lives in some of the sub areas that we have unlocked. No!
So, for reasons like that, platforming is a bitch in this game. When you're playing as a werehog and you're not dashing, you're gonna have a hard time getting the momentum you need just to complete the jumps.
Damn it!
Now,
No!
I love you, floating balloon man.
I do not
with
love
me.
this floating balloon man. I mean, he does save me from bottomless pits, but he throws me into them just as much because of how the fact that you have to hold R1 the entire time. Ugh. I do not like that.
Did you find the path yet, Sonic? Until you find the path, we are going to lock the camera into an unusable position.
There.
God damn it.
Made it.
Stupid double jump. Holy
now,
shit.
we end up getting...
Goal ring.
I think we end
See,
up getting
that
an A
is
in
a
this
goal ring.
level. No, actually, we probably get a B in this level because we only score enough rings in order to actually win. Also, don't bother fighting these guys while you're going through here. Just ignore them if you can, because they're not worth it.
Because if you
no,
fall...
Pascurdet, don't.
fall-
It's not worth it. We've been in
If
here
you
for 7 minutes already.
You will have added even more time to the clock. Minutes off of our lives. And knock it
that's
over.
why you don't fight them.
God,
because Sonic's melee combo
that's
pushes
why
them
you don't
forward.
bother. Because Sonic steps forward when he attacks.
Oh look, the guys I killed decided to respawn.
Never throw Molotov cocktails at Mikolash. You will fall into the platform and negate everything you were trying to accomplish. And temporary platforms that collapse
Oof.
after stepping on them.
There.
Ew. Oh, that was
Just
fun.
Final platform segment. Come on. Almost there.
No, see, this is a goal
There.
ring.
Got it.
Goal rings are visible from afar. That's why they are goals. You set them, you accomplish them. Instead of running into them like getting money for nothing.
And your chicks for free. And we still S-ranked it because they wanted us to spend 9 minutes at this level. Ugh.
Got 3 sun
And again, a
medals.
majority of the
You
level
got
is
an
just the
S
platforming
rank.
segments here.
Well
The combat
done.
was like over in what, 2 minutes total? Secret Movie 8, Secret Illustration 72.
It's a secret. I am not
Saves.
quite impressed by how many of these things you may get. It mostly
Alright, on
frustrates
to the
me
next
that I am
Holoska Night
unable to
stage.
have them all at once. Which do you think is
Temple
better,
of Ice.
Mr. Gradette?
Between
Do you
what?
think it's better to get items? So, just like how the game, lets slip that there are 72 of a thing, just by saying this is number 72 among a list of things that you can get. There are also games like Dark Souls, for instance, where you will not even be aware that a thing is possible to get because it doesn't have a known inventory. So which do you think is more satisfying, filling a known inventory or getting new items you weren't expecting?
I actually think it's the filling the numerical inventory. However, that's because, you know, it's much easier to actually formulate that goal for yourself than it is to have the game hide the inventory screen from you. Mind you, Dark Souls
Yes.
hiding things from you is entirely part and parcel of the Dark Souls experience, so fuck that.
Swing. I do agree that goal achievement is very satisfying. So I think that the creators of Sonic Unleashed had intended just that players would automatically make the goal that if you have 72 of a thing and you collect one of them, you got 71 left to go.
But honestly, I don't ever. While I was playing this, I wasn't really that concerned about getting about completing out the illustration or soundtrack list. To be perfectly honest, I mean that's partially because I was recording this for the channel at the time. However, even with that, I don't usually go out of my way to max out galleries, because galleries are not imperative to my gameplay loop most of the time. These floors are ice floors,
Right.
for the record. You will slip and fall like that, and although I was supposed to get hit by the spikes, I didn't get hit by the spikes, so they got hit by the out of range.
And you didn't take any damage.
Ice floor anyway. Again, you do take a
The
small
only
amount
way
of
you
damage.
can take
You do take a small amount of damage when they actually encase you in ice, but it's very negligible.
And apparently the only way to take damage from those spikes below is to make a platforming error and land on them. Because you can't slide into them, and you can't get knocked down from the pole even after getting frozen onto them. So frankly, those spikes are quite well designed.
Well, they're spikes.
Is
It's
it jazz
pretty
time?
easy to design spikes.
Strike up the band. Here comes...
No, this is just an explore the room area. I mean, it'll turn into a combat area.
Bullshit. There are trumpets around here somewhere.
There are trumpets around here, but only after we're done exploring the room. Hello, broken camera. Why do you hate me?
Oh, what the fuck? Alright, this is why I hated narrow platforming in Super Mario 64. The camera sucks, and it's just... The controls are just not quite that fine. Where you
Honestly,
can make tiny micro adjustments to where you are.
With the controls when it comes to when this kind of platforming is done well in Sonic Unleashed, to be perfectly honest. However, my issue with this is that we're at a slanted angle. Because we're at a slanted angle, it is very difficult. It is very difficult for my analog stick to land on whatever goddamn eighth of the cardinal wheel it wants to be on in order for this to function appropriately.
Yeah. Oh my god.
No! Damn it.
No! See, after a moment like this, and I finally get the thing over there, and I unlock the door, I would just put my controllers down and say, I did it!
Damn it!
I walked across the platform!
Which you're not guaranteed to do because of the stupid camera angle. If I actually had the ability to adjust the camera here, then this area would be fine. But because I don't have the ability to adjust the camera here, I have to do this awkward platforming segment over and over again. I mean, it just eats up your time, but time is one of the ranking modifiers. So I don't like having to waste my time attempting the same platforming segment that I already successfully cleared by my account.
But just that you were denied the satisfaction at the last minute.
I was denied it because the camera didn't let me go forward enough, and it was specifically the camera that handicapped my jump.
When was the last time you mic dropped the game you were playing?
That would have been Borderlands 2, because like 2 days ago, 2 days ago, while I was attempting to kill Mad Mike, I noticed that my grenade launcher was just having its grenades pass through one of the badass psychos that show up before Mad Mike, and I was like, no, my grenades are not directly hitting him. They're supposed to be. They're hitting the space behind him and then doing backdraft damage. No, I'm done.
Oh. Well, that's not... dropping the mic is when you, like... Is when you fucking, you know, tore ass into your opponent, and you're just like... Peace, bitches.
Trying to think. I'm not honestly sure. I mean, it might actually have been towards the end of the Sonic Unleashed playthrough, but I don't think so.
Yeah, I could totally see that. Especially after the number of times this game had crashed on you, I could totally see you mic dropping this game.
Yeah, but that's the thing. When the moment that you're describing, when I have, you know, a significant moment of victory against something that I've been struggling with, I don't really count, you know, technical difficulties to be something that I personally have overcome. You know, what I usually end up thinking of when it comes to that is challenges that I have effectively set for myself that I successfully overcome through enough trial and error. You see, because whereas most people assume, there, we finally unlocked Unleashed mode. And now that we have Unleashed mode, we have the ability to take down these guys somewhat faster, because our slap now actually stuns them.
Somewhat faster. Oh, they're gonna explode!
Yeah, but we're getting health back.
Oh god!
We're getting health back from the dudes that we killed. So yeah, it's fine.
We are unleashed.
Explore the room. Make sure we picked up.
Honestly, mic. I mean, the bottom line of mic dropping that I'm trying to get at is that I probably learned mic dropping as a result of playing the Dark Souls series.
And there we go. We have successfully completed the Holoska Night platforming stages. Did we get an S rank? Rings are S, record time is S, force is S. All 3 sun medals.
Oh my god, I just
Stage
realized
complete.
that the stage complete theme is exactly the same as the level select theme.
The Twinkles actually I think from Mario Kart Double Dash, but at least it sounds similar to that. And in the next part, we will be dealing with the Holoska boss.